And in goal tonight for your Milwaukee Wave from Brazil, number 82, Rafael Diaz. And now your all-star coaching staff led by former Milwaukee Wave legends head coach Giuliano Oliviero and assistant coach Marcelo Fontana. Player coach is Marcio Leite, goalkeeper coach is Rafa. Wave fans, make some noise for your 2019 Milwaukee Wave. Time for today's Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Scratch Report. Not playing in today's game. Forward number 2, Tenzin Rampa. Number 4, Carlos Contreras. Number 12, Stuart Grable. Number 25, Andrew Wiedebach. Number 30, Josh Lemos. Number 31, Matt Isold. Number 33, Michael De Silva. And number 99, Andre Hain, not playing in today's game. Scratch Report presented by Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps as we honor America. As Director Michelle Nagel and the kids from Waupun Junior High Band perform our national anthem. The Waupun Junior High School Band and our national.
First two, winning the season opener here and then in Kansas City a couple of weeks later. But Comets have been coming on. They're 3-4 against the undefeated Milwaukee Wave, and no doubt Wave is going to have its hands full tonight.
Long time, Tom. Kansas City Comets, where I got my start back in 1981. The original hot summer nights back then. And yeah, to all the folks back in Kansas City, Nick Vassos, the Greek, their fine play-by-play man, Jim Schwabi, their color commentary, everybody that's listening in Kansas City, welcome to the broadcast, and should be a good one here tonight.
As we talked about in the pregame, Wave's depth is going to be tested this weekend without 3 key players, goalkeeper Josh Lemos, forward Ian Bennett, and also forward Andre Hain.
And Tenzin Rampa.
Tenzin Rampa, who was injured and out for the season now, the season opener against the Comets. So there's no doubt. We've talked about Milwaukee, and one of the advantages they have is their experience and depth, and it'll definitely be tested this weekend.
Yeah, we like to talk about the National Hockey League a lot, Tom, on the broadcast. Both you and I, big hockey fans, and you're seeing it in the NHL as well. Depth right now is such a big factor in that league, and we're going to see what type of depth the Wave has right here tonight. Hans Dennison back in the lineup. Haven't seen Hans much this year. Is this his first game, by the way? First game for Hans. Rafa Diaz in the goal tonight for Josh Lemos. And so, absolutely a major test here for the undefeated 6-0 Milwaukee Wave.
Wave 2-0 here at the UWMP Arena so far this year. 4-0 on the road, 6-0 overall. They've scored 53, given up 27. In fact, they are tied with the Comets for the most goals scored by any team in the league so far this year. The Comets at 3-4, 1-2 at home, 2-2 on the road, have also scored 53. The difference is they've surrendered 44. The Wave has only surrendered 27. Milwaukee defeated Kansas City in the season opener December 1st here, 10-6. And then 2 weeks later, December 15th, in Independence, they beat the Comets 10-8. However, in that contest, Milwaukee was up 8-2, and the Comets, with a furious rally, made it a 9-8 game with just about a minute to go. And then Milwaukee was able to score against the sixth attacker to account for the final score at 10-8. Underway, Comets with it in the white uniforms. They go left to right as we look at the action. That's their goalkeeper, Brett Petrusek. His record, like that of the Comets, 3-4, 5.97 goals against average, and a .706 save percentage for the third-year man out of Niagara University. Chicago area native Brett Petrusek spent his last 2 years with the now defunct Cedar Rapids Rampage, and in his first year with Kansas City. In the corner near side, there's Leo Gibson, the league's leading scorer, coming in with 22 points. Gibson, a 10-year veteran out of Union College in Tennessee, Union University in Bristol, Tennessee. Nice job there by Leite to play it up to Robert Renault. Wave will change now, LSO. Lays it off on the far side. There is Angel Curial, or as he is more commonly known, Chino. Guilherme Vega will tee one up from long range, missed wide right on the rebound. Vega going to get called for a foul as he dumped Anthony Grant on the play.
Kyle Trimble and Jamie Walters, the referee tonight. Kyle Trimble with that call on Curiel.
Kyle and Jamie, two longtime veteran officials.
Both the referees started out as third and fourth officials in this league years ago, and as you said, now veteran officials of the indoor game here in the Major Arena Soccer League.
Two of the outstanding officials in this league. Wave trying to move it out of the zone as Daniel Chamali has it near his side. Trying to battle for it first with Gibson, and then eventually poked away by Berto Palmer. Robert Palmer is his given name, but he goes by Berto on the back of the jersey. Again, Comets in the white uniforms, moving it left to right. They are coming off a 7-2 victory over the Florida Tropics last weekend. Petrusek looking long. Try and see if he could get Gibson posting up. Wave takes it away. Vandergriff will drop it back to Rafa Diaz. Rafa, the 36-year-old Brazilian, in his third season with the Wave, after spending a couple of years with Detroit prior to that. And Isaac Pereira able to dispossess Gibson there. Now Chamali dropping it back to the keeper. Not much space there for Rafa to clear it upfield. Bouncing shot. Put in Lucas Rodriguez, and the save made by Diaz.
The Wave got themselves in trouble on that shift. It started with a pass to Pereira, who was making a change, and led to about 30 seconds of confusion there for the Wave.
Ricardinho trying to chip one back quickly, but it's up and into the stands.
Yeah, one of the things as a player, Tom, you got to be aware of is when your line mate or your teammate is making a change, don't pass the ball towards your bench. They're very lucky that the players changing with Pereira didn't jump on and have the Wave get caught with too many men.
Petrusek with the distribution. A little more than 3 minutes gone by, still no score here in Milwaukee. Wave coming off an outstanding road trip. Back-to-back victories in Mississauga against the Metro Stars. An 8-2 victory last Saturday, and then a 7-4 win in Utica the next day. Nice move there by Robert Renaud. Looks long. Dennison moves across. Ferdinand shot. Save. Petrusek. Rebound. Shot. A goal! So after a great first save by Petrusek, Wave stayed with it. And Milwaukee able to get the opening marker of tonight's game. They lead it 1-0.
Impressive one-touch passing that time by the Wave. Started with a great ball through by Robert Renaud. Hans Dennison with a one-touch pass across, and watch this save by Petrusek coming flying across, but then Ferdinand, the league's leading assist maker over the last few years, finds Dennison, and hey, what a start. Hans Dennison, first shift back, 4 minutes in, has already bagged a goal, and there's speaks to your depth right there.
Hans making his debut this season, and that is his 11th career goal in this, his 41st regular season appearance for the Wave. It's his 4th season overall in Milwaukee. And Ferdinand, as Arch mentioned, the league's premier playmaker the last couple of years. He's up among the leaders as far as assists go this year. That's his 8th of the year for 11 points. Ball chipped in and taken by Diaz. Wave trying to start it back. Now Leite's pass for LSO is behind him, picked up by Gibson. LSO trying to poke it free. Good pressure there by Isaac Pereira. Isaac, another guy who's really come on, Art. How about that goal versus the 6th attacker in Utica last Sunday?
One of the best goals in a long time, absolutely.
That I was commenting to some other people who had seen that might be one of the greatest goals versus a 6th attacker in Wave history. Shot there, turned away by Diaz, but they get it back. Gibson trying to jam it in short side and turned away. So Rafa Diaz equal to the task here in the opening moments of the game.
Diaz doing his best Josh Lamos impersonation with a few fist pump after the saves.
Bertel Palmer coming forward, lost it. Wave coming back, it's a 2-on-1. Pereira along with LSO. Isaac will take the shot, and it's blocked by James Togba. Good job there by Togba. Santos digs it out for Milwaukee, and now will eventually try to get it to Chamali. He does, but Casey with the pressure, and the Comets will get it back.
Not a good decision that time by Pereira. Anytime you're on a 2v1, you want to try to get the defender to commit to you and then find the open man on the far side. That time LSO was open, but Pereira elected to shoot.
Now a steal. Chamali steps up. He tried to backheel it for Ricardinho, but couldn't make the connection. And here come the Comets. Rodriguez is clipped down by Bradley, but they play on. Wave getting back now defensively. And a spinning shot from the left side that Diaz had to dive out and turn away. Almost looked like it was missed, hit a bit, but Rafa staying with it to turn it away. Comets are able to get the possession back for Petrusek. Chamali keeping the pressure now, giveaway. Renaud steps in, shot, a goal! R-squared has got another one, and Milwaukee leads it 2-0.
Both teams a little sloppy in their own zone here in the first 6 minutes. That time it was Kansas City who gives the ball, and Robert Renaud, player of the game in Utica, player of the game the last time the Wave was at home, continues his hot play. Look at that poor giveaway that time by Gibson, and Renaud makes him pay.
Unassisted for R-squared at 5:49 to put the Wave up 2-0. Robert, the Wave's leading scorer, now with 17 points, including 9 assists. And he continues to look very impressive, coming back off of that knee injury, which knocked him out of the second half of last season.
Former Wave star and the current Marquette College men's coach, Louis Bennett, used to talk about the attacking third of the field as the calm zone. And Robert Renaud with some great composure and calmness that time and tucked it away nicely.
Comets back on the attack. Williams looking for Adam James on the near side. Good break up that time as Vega was able to get there for Milwaukee. Now Brian Perez, Comets team captain.
Did I say Louis Bennett, by the way? I'm sorry, it's now Louis Bennett, Sir Louis Bennett.
Well, he's been around long enough, I guess, to earn that.
We can still call him Louis, yeah?
He'll always be Louis to the to the guys who knew him back when. Vega and James in a battle of number 6s, and foul eventually going to be called on Adam James.
Guilherme Vega, number 6 for the Wave, is a guy who really has stepped up his game over the last half of last season and the start of this season. Great technical ability on the ball. He's turned into one of the outstanding attacking defenders in the league.
Renault trying to get away from the defender. Turning into the middle, pass deflected. Dennison will gather it in and now drop it back for Chad Vandegrift.
We talked about the Waves' depth and the players that were missing. Ian Bennett, Andre Hain, Josh Lemos, Tenzin Rampa. And here we are, 7 minutes into the game. Hans Dennison with a goal and Rafa Diaz with a handful of outstanding saves.
Well, pretty impressive when you can dial up players like that. There's no doubt about that.
And impressive by the coaching staff to have these guys that haven't played in quite some time this prepared to play at a high level.
Yeah. Got to give Giuliano Oliviero, Marcello Fontana, the Wave coaching staff, a lot of credit in that regard. Just past the midway point first period. Wave leading 2-0. Here's Isaac Pereira, and he chips one up above the goal. And we'll have our media timeout. 6:59 left to go in the first quarter. And Milwaukee with the 2-0 lead on goals by Dennison and Renault. We mentioned the
222 with today's merchandise item of the game. It's the foam finger for $5, located at the Milwaukee Wave store at the UW Panther Arena, just outside of section 227. You don't have to get a foam finger, though. There's jerseys, hats, all kinds of Wave merchandise. Check out the store outside of section 227. Or if you don't get it here today, you can check it out online at MilwaukeeWave.com. Back to you, Van.
Thank you, Doreen. Before we go, I notice Elvis is there next to you. Elvis, can you shake your hips a little bit? Can you show us that you're the real deal? Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis.
Ray, the defending league runners-up at 3-1. Then you got Dallas 4-4, Rio Grande Valley 2-3, and El Paso 1-4. And then in Pacific, great division this year, at least the top 3 teams. San Diego at 6-1, Ontario 6-3, Tacoma 4-3, and the Turlock Express at the bottom at 0-7. Turlock, a team that probably is not going to be a real threat when they're playing on the road, but I'll tell you, at home in the tin shed, they can be very difficult to deal with. Wave on the attack. Alex Bradley, nice move there to keep it alive, trying to go for Renault, and as Robert and Roberts, Berto Palmer, battle for the ball. The foul's going to be called Robert Renault. Meanwhile, Nacho Flores steamrolled by Chino as Chino was trying to get off the field for a change. No call, and Nacho was not too impressed with that. Well, I wouldn't say steamroll, but he gave him a pretty good hip check as Chino was going out for a change. Leite able to play it for Max. Wave still back in its defensive end. Now Marcio looking long, trying to find Ricardinho. Good play there by Rodriguez to get it back and pop it into the offensive zone, but Marcio comes away with it. Looking down the middle for Pereira. Another steal by Rodriguez. Now 3-2 in the zone for KC off the end board in front. And the attempted header by Flores, just a little tall for him to get much on it. Ricardinho running up the far wall is checked into the boards, and the foul is called.
Nacho Flores, number 23 for Kansas City, would like to have that opportunity back right in front, and he just missed a point-blank header.
As you see on our Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay, James Togba called for the foul against Ricardinho.
I'll tell you, for Kim Runtved and the Kansas City Comets, this is a disappointing start to this game, because as a former player, you know when guys on the other team are out of the lineup. And even though you're not sitting in the locker room going, all right, you know. And so for the Wave to have this amount of injuries and players, significant players out, and to fall behind early, not to start, Kim Runtved and the Comets were looking for.
Here's LSO trying to get forward, and he got cut off the play and then committed the foul. LSO back with the Wave after a 3-year stint on the West Coast, 1 year with Ontario, and the last 2 with San Diego, and in none too subtle fashion, he pushed down Lucas Rodriguez. LSO so far this year with the Wave has had a pretty solid start. 4th on team scoring list, 5 goals, 3 assists, and it seems like, Art, he's each of the goals he scored this year have been fairly meaningful. In fact, he had that 6th attacker goal, the goal versus the 6th attacker in Kansas City that clinched the game back on December 15th. Before that, the Comets had scored 6 of the previous 7 goals, and it was looking a little shaky there for the Wave. But also able to really, with an individual effort, come down and score that goal to make it 10-8, and that pretty much wrapped it up for the Wave. Tonight, it's been Renault and Dennison, the goal scorers for Milwaukee. Kansas City still looking to open up their account. Again, the 2 highest scoring teams in the league, 53 goals each to start the season. Comets have played one more game than the Wave has.
Just got a text from St. Louis General Manager Brian Roth, and he said he's listening to the game driving home in his car in a snowstorm. Snowstorm in St. Louis?
Yeah, I guess so. We got no snow around here, that's for sure.
Sunny and 70 here in Milwaukee. Okay, sunny and 25.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wasn't sure we were close to 70. Chamali trying to see if he could pick the top far corner of the goal, and he got under it a bit. Some nice ball movement there by the Wave to create the chance, but unfortunately for Daniel, got under it a little too much.
Daniel right here should have been hitting the driver. Instead, he pulled out his sand wedge. Nice backspin on it, though.
Well, it had that look of a ball that was going to land softly on the green, that's for sure. Now here comes Manco with a drive that rattles off the frame and goes out of bounds. He was coming down the near wing, and really gave it a crack, but
hey, Elaine, you're only 7 yards out. A little placement would have been nice. He just missed that upper right-hand corner. Good try that time by the big Frenchman.
Manigo coming back to the Comets after a season in Tacoma where he and Robert and Ramon Palmer were his teammates. But a 1-year stint in Tacoma, and they're all back. So the band is back together again here in KC, so to speak. And again, you've got to believe if the Comets stay healthy, they are definitely going to be a factor in the South Central Division race this year. Comets will get the possession here.
So they were playing in Tacoma, and then they decided to come back to Kansas City. All right. 2 good cities. I like Tacoma, Seattle, that Portland area is nice. Kansas City, a great city as well.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, 2 legacy cities, if you will, in North American professional indoor soccer. Both have had successful franchises at various times over the years. Both play in very nice venues with a lot of fan support. Petrasek with it. The goalkeeper comes forward. Remember, goalkeepers this year in the MASL cannot control the ball beyond their defensive half of midfield until the 4th quarter. And whistle, and we got our first card of the night. Jamie Walter pulling out the card and Palmer saying he was getting elbowed, but let's take a look. And absolutely pulled Drew Ruggles' hair. Drew, of course, has got a lot of hair.
It was hard to tell if the elbow came up from Ruggles. Palmer certainly thought it did. And hey, that's legal in the NFL. You can pull all the hair you want, but not in the Major Arena Soccer League.
Just don't ever forget that play. Troy Polamalu intercepted a pass and got pulled down by his hair. So the Wave goes on the PP for the first time tonight after the, well, what do we call it? A pulling hair penalty on Palmer. Chino getting to the end board, and he tried to play it back from the turf, but he got called for a foul as he was laying on top of Petrusek. So first power play of the night, and it goes to the Wave. Let's see if Milwaukee can take advantage. Wave just 4 for 12 in the power play this year, 33%. And the Comets, meanwhile, been a pretty good penalty killing team. They've killed off 11 of 15 for 73%. No shorthand goals for the Comets, none allowed by the Wave. No problem for Diaz handling that. Leite, LSO, Renault, Chino, and Max Ferdinand.
And Chino, Angel Curiel, number 28, takes the spot of Ian Bennett down low on that left side.
Chino with a power play goal in Utica this past Sunday. Renault bangs one off the board. It comes near side to Leite. LSO at the point. Finds Max, draws a defender. Now LSO will take a right foot shot, save Petrusek.
Good player movement that time by the Wave to switch positions on the power play. Robert Renault and Max Ferdinand. And Renault, a ball off the board is just a little bit too high for Chino. It made a run into the middle.
Still 50 seconds to go on the power play, which would carry over for about 5 seconds into the second period if the Wave does not score. And we got a foul on LSO. That is his second in this period. Take a look one more time as Togba doing a good job to push it upfield. Bertel Palmer moves it across for Gibson, and just like that, shorthand goal for Kansas City. They're on the board, trailing 2-1.
Weren't you just saying the Wave hadn't given up a shorthanded goal this season? Great spacing that time by the Comets as the 4 players against the 5 spread it out nicely. And you see the first time ball across to Leo Gibson. Gibson makes no mistake, beating Diaz to the far post. You know, that's the problem a lot of times with your power play unit is most of the guys on the power play unit are forwards. And you don't have that defensive presence out there. That time the Wave a little casual by their power play unit defending the man down from Kansas City.
Marcio cranks one up. Wave still on the power play for another 22 seconds. So let's see if they can get one back on this same opportunity. Max straight away, he'll roll it in, and Chino's shot deflects in! So they do score on the power play. Well, I guess nothing lost, as Chino will get credit for the power play goal, his second straight game with a PP marker, and the Wave back on top by 2 at 3-1.
Once again, it was a good one-touch passing by the Wave, this time on the power play, and unfortunately for Brett Petrusek, the ball comes off the near boards, off his left hand, and then back in behind him.
Angel Curiel, we call him Chino. He's got his 5th of the year, also has 4 assists for 9 points, his second power play goal. And that'll be another assist for Max Ferdinand as he gets his 2nd of the night and 9th of the campaign. The league's leading playmaker right now is Leo Gibson. Gibson, the league's leading scorer, picked up his 11th goal on that shorthander just 27 seconds earlier. And he's got 12 assists to go along with that for 23 points.
You see so much stopping of the ball in this league, Tom, after a pass. Pass and then stop it, and then pass and then stop it. The Wave doing a nice job tonight of playing first-time balls. That time Chino, even though he didn't hit the target, Petrusek wasn't allowed to set his feet.
Rafa Diaz able to cover up in the middle as the period comes to an end. And so all in all, a good first period for the Wave as they take a 2-goal lead after the first 15 minutes. One more time in the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay as Rafa stuffs Lucas Rodriguez. We'll take a break, come back with more. 3-1 Milwaukee as we head to the second period. This is Wave Soccer and MASL.TV.
Our partners at Orange Theory Fitness, with locations all throughout Wisconsin and the nation, are proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave. And we have this awesome game going on right here. Doreen, who are you with?
All right, what they have to do here, you both have to get on here one at a time, and whoever rows 100 meters the fastest wins. And not only do you win, your section wins. So first we have Betsy from Hales Corners playing for section 223. Let's hear it, section 223. All right. Charles.
Redeem your sunglasses. Be sure you have your ticket stub. You can go to the annex outside of section 208. Meet up with Orange Theory there. They have your sunglasses waiting for you. Thanks to our friends.
Mitre is a proud sponsor of the Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL 2. Underway, second period. Wave in the black uniforms, going left to right on the black field. The first and only one of its kind in professional soccer here at the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena. Art Kramer, some thoughts on the first quarter?
Yeah, first 3 or 4 minutes, it looked like it was going to be a low-scoring affair. Both teams very deliberate in their approach. And then things really opened up offensively for both teams. The Wave a little bit lax in their marking late in the quarter. In fact, that last restart with just 2 seconds left, Rafa Diaz with a big save at the near post.
And now potential giveaway here, but Petrusek is going to step up and save the day for the Comets. Wave again, showing some pretty good upfield pressure. Thought that was definitely one of their keys out in the recent road trip. Some excellent upfield pressure to shake the opposition at time and create some opportunities. And now Renault on a race with Petrusek, who comes out and makes a nice play to keep the possession.
Good skill that time by the Kansas City keeper.
Good look by Flores across for Gibson. Marcio just able to get a leg in and knock it away. Ferdinand digs it out for Renault. Robert turns, lays it off for Max. Good job to control. Now potential 3-on-1, but great defense there as Berto Palmer stepped up to break it up. 3v3 for Kansas City coming back. Gibson, who's got a shorthand goal for St. Louis, trying to maneuver at the line. Nacho Flores takes it away. Flores with a shot that's partially deflected, comes out to Brian Perez. Comets, a team with a lot of international flair, as they have players from Liberia, Colombia, Chile, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Argentina, France, and Serbia, all represented on the roster. They're also representing Park University in Missouri exceptionally well, with 7 players who used to play for the Pirates, and a couple of other UMKC Kangaroos as well on this team. Flores works it with Ramon Palmer, now lays it back. Gibson, shot and a goal. Boy, good patience there by the Comets to set up Gibson, and he rolls it in for his second of the night. And the Comets back within 1 at 3-2.
Good patience and some really good combination passing that time by the Comets in the Wave's defensive zone. You see the Wave chasing the ball around, left Leo Gibson. Hey guys, that guy's the leading scorer in the league, wide open at the center of the box, and Gibson finishes it nicely to Rafa's lower right-hand side.
So Ramon Palmer will get credit for the assist on Gibson's second goal of the night, his 12th of the year. Gibson, 24 points to lead the league in scoring, and now he's just 1 goal behind the league's leading goal scorer, which is Adrian Perez of the Ontario Fury.
Just got a text message, Tom, that head coach Keith Tozer, the legendary indoor soccer coach, is listening and watching the game down at the coaches convention in Chicago. So, Coach, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Know you are.
Always great to get Keith's input and reaction, and coaches convention, which means MLS Super Draft should be coming up along with that.
And that's in Chicago, Tom, and we will be live tomorrow on NBCSN Chicago. Is that what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. 1 o'clock for that telecast against the Ambush right here in Milwaukee. Good play there by Chamali to break up the inboard pass. Wave starts it back. Vandegrift trying to get the angle on it, but a good job by Mattengo to cut it off. Now back for Petrusek. Under pressure, he loops it to midfield. Chamali runs up to it. Vandegrift able to win it and play it back. Milwaukee will recycle the possession.
By the way, Tom, have you seen Coach Tozer lately?
Last time I saw Coach Tozer was toward the end of last season, last time I saw him in person.
Man, he is in fantastic shape.
Got to be, I would think, Art, for, well, a man of his age, which is my age, 61, probably as fit as just about anybody.
He makes the rest of us look really bad. He really does. And gone is the infamous mustache from years ago, but man, he looks in fantastic shape.
He is one of the few men of his age that I can reasonably say could step on the field and probably still go a couple of shifts and perform pretty well.
Oh, he could still kick me.
Chino looking across. He was trying to find Pereira, but a little too far out in front, and a nice play there by Petrusek to come out and get it. Now back the other way as Williams was trying to set up one of his teammates in the middle, couldn't do it. Santos will chip it up for Ricardinho. KC putting the pressure on as Milwaukee tries to work it out of the back. Ricardinho, good look to find LSO. LSO pushing forward, trying to come 2-1 with Ferdinand. LSO coming down the middle, shot off the frame. Oh, great effort there by the one, Salas Oliveira. But unlucky as he put it off the frame. Ricardinho will reload for the Wave. Less than 10 to go here in the first half. Kansas City with the only goal so far in this period. The second of the night for Leo Gibson, his 12th of the year from Ramon Palmer, 2:17 to get the Comets back within 1. So yeah, for all you fans who have NBC Sports Network Chicago, that's NBCSN Chicago on your cable or satellite provided service. Tune us in tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Wave against the Ambush. I'll tell you, down in Kenosha, where I believe there's a lot of subscribers. We've seen in Kenosha both, but Kenosha particularly should be some fans tuned in. We'll be taking a look at Ambush rookie Zach Regan, the league's reigning player of the week. He's a Kenosha native, and no doubt I'm sure we'll have plenty of friends and relatives tuned in if they aren't indeed here to watch him play in person. Ruggles with a bomb that's just high.
I watch NBCSN a couple times a week from Chicago. Blackhawk games are all live on NBCSN.
Yeah, they actually have pretty good distribution here in southeastern Wisconsin. And so we look forward to bringing the game to those fans tomorrow, get a chance to tune it in. And that's going to be another challenging game for the Wave. The Ambush again is off tonight, and they will be rested and ready to do the business here tomorrow, 1 o'clock at UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com.
And really no reason for the sports fans in Chicago to not be tuning in. Their Bears, unfortunately, are not in the playoffs anymore. And hopefully the goalposts tomorrow will be kinder to the Wave than they were to the Chicago Bears. Sorry, Tom. As a St. Louis native, I just couldn't help myself. Can just hear my buddies in Chicago now. At least we got a team, Kramer.
Yeah, at least vis-a-vis Packer fans this year, I don't think the Bears fans have to apologize for anything. That's for sure. Unfortunately, they look like they might be good for a few years going forward. Wave with control. Midway through the second period, Milwaukee clinging to the 3-2 lead.
No, I agree. Matt Nagy, the Bears coach, nice job in his first season there as their leader.
Well, it looks like they found a quarterback that could be effective for a while to come. He could bring some problems to Green Bay, that's for sure. Packers, of course, naming their new coach the other day. And
was it Guy LaFleur?
I don't think he's any relation.
Oh, no.
Matt LaFleur. Chino to the line. Chino still coming. He is clipped from behind, and the blue card going to come out on the lane, Matt, and go.
What'd you think, Tom?
Well, it was not a malicious tackle. He just tripped him. Chino had the advantage, and Milwaukee was obviously going to get a good scoring opportunity out of it. But you know, you could have called the foul, and I don't think anybody would have been too bent out of shape about it for the Waves.
I'd like to see that one again. Kansas City had numbers.
What's going on?
It is birthday time, Van, and I'm here with Caden, who's celebrating his birthday. How old are you, Caden?
11.
11, and you chose to bring all your buddies here and spend your birthday with the Wave?
Yes.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Of course you're having fun. You can celebrate your birthday here at the Milwaukee Wave as well. You get tickets to the game, merchandise, a meet and greet before the game, cupcakes. Did you have a cupcake, Caden?
No.
Did you want a cupcake? But you can have a cupcake if you celebrate your birthday here with the Milwaukee Wave. You can check it all out at MilwaukeeWave.com. Happy birthday, Kanan and Van. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Doreen. The lovely, the talented Doreen Michaels, and our birthday boy. Happy birthday, Caden Colombe, Daniel Babington, and Braden Dahl. It's Ron's birthday, Ron Pollack, Kayla Tomaszewski, Max Egan, and Anthony Kennedy. Happy birthday. And thanks for celebrating with your Milwaukee Wave.
Happy birthday from the Wave!
Leg onto Curiel's left leg. And so I stand corrected in my initial thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Replay bears it out. That was a good call by Jamie Walter. And then you see the evil Elaine Matko in the penalty box.
Is that what we're dubbing him, the evil Elaine? He's always been a pretty classy player.
But not that time. All right, here we go. Ferdinand ready to put it in. Ruggles with a bending left footer that's just wide.
Ruggles puts his hands to his face. He's been so clinical with his accuracy off those restarts.
Now Marcia with pressure from Ramon Palmer. Palmer and James Togba up high. Johnny Sosa, who we've only seen on the PK so far, back there with, looks like Robert Palmer. So both Palmers, Togba, and Sosa, the penalty killers for Coach Kim Renfed. LSO, along with Max and Marcio up top, R squared and D squared. Drew Ruggles down low. Again, Comets been an excellent penalty killing team this year coming in. Marcio trying to get inboard. He got cut off on a sliding tackle by Sosa, who kneed the ball to the goalkeeper Petracek so he could pick it up. Had he played it with his feet, then Petracek would not have been able to pick it up with his hands. Downfield, that one will pop off Ramon Palmer into the stands. Wave still with 50 seconds to go on the power play.
Not sure I like that rule, that you can get down on your knee and off the turf and knee it to your goalkeeper.
LSO draws the foul. Well, a lot of times it's kind of hard to tell. It puts more pressure on the officials. Should be any intentional direction of the ball with your leg of any sort. Probably should be the way the rule reads. All right, power play restart for the Wave. LSO will go down to the board as Max looks in the middle. Chino, little touch across from Marcio, but the Wave does not get an initial opportunity out of that. Good defense again by KC, shorthanded. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Big opportunity for the Wave as they move it across near side. LSO with a shot just a bit high as he tried to put it in the return postage spot of the goal. And Chino going to call for a foul.
Well, that's 3 or 4 times this evening the Wave has fouled on their offensive power play. Anytime you foul, you let that man down unit have a free kick going forward, it just kills time.
And the last time, Kansas City actually brought it upfield and was able to convert on the shorthand goal by Gibson. Wave gets it back, but now only 8 seconds to go on the power play. Max with a good look up ahead, Renault. Renault and Chino, 2-on-1. Here's Robert, lays it across, Chino! Could not find the target. Oh, he had Petracek scrambling back to the net, but unfortunately for Chino, he was off target. And now Matko coming out of the penalty box, draws a couple of defenders, and he'll track it down to the corner against Marcio Leite. Matko trying to get around Marcio. Rafa steps out to play it, but take it away Gibson. Gibson lays it off. Here's a shot deflected. And a good block there as LSO was able to step up and make a big block there. And another nice defensive play by LSO to take it away from Gibson. Here comes Max. Chopped down as he comes forward. Foul is going to be called. Wave was looking for a blue card there.
Well, had it not been 2-0 in the power play department, probably would have seen a blue card on that one. Watch right here. Ferdinand definitely gets taken out by the Kansas City defender. Was that Palmer? Robert Palmer?
I did not get a look at it. Less than 4 to go in the Wave with the 3-2 advantage. But credit Kansas City for killing off the latest power play. Milwaukee 1 for 2 now on the power play today, and they've also given up a shorthand goal. Ricardinho spinning between a couple of defenders, does well to get it back. Goal scorers again for Milwaukee are Dennison, Renault, and Chino. And Leo Gibson has both for KC. This is one of 5 games going on tonight in the Major Arena Soccer League. Elsewhere, Mississauga hosting Utica. That was 2-2 late in the first half. A bit later on, El Paso will host Turlock. San Diego hosting Ontario, and Tacoma will be entertaining the Monterey Flash. And we got a blue card coming up here.
It's going to be Ricardinho, and he was battling it out with Robert Palmer in that last shift. I think retaliated that time.
And you see a very disconsolate Ricardinho.
Well, he definitely was late. Challenge after the ball went away. And once again, the referees had an eye on that little scuffle going on between Ricardinho and Robert Palmer.
So he'll go to the box for kicking, tripping, boarding. Take your choice.
Any one of the 3.
Time of the penalty at 11:50. And the Comets on the power play first time tonight, looking to tie this thing up.
In fact, probably a combination of all 3, Tom.
Sosa and Rodriguez up top. Here's Lucas Rodriguez. Cut it over to the right foot at a nice crack, but just off the mark. So again, tonight it looks like Sosa playing special teams. I can't think, Art, if we've seen him out full strength, but he's been in the special team action. There's a shot far side, shot and a goal, and the Comets have tied it up at 3 apiece.
We talked about Rafa Diaz's fitness prior to the game, and a heavy barrage of shots early on in this game, and this is a shot he normally would stop. Gets beat low to the near post.
James Togba converts for the Comets at 12:22 of the second quarter. And for Togba, the second-year pro.
Anytime you've got your backup goalie starting a game, Tom, one of the rallying cries from your defenders has got to be, we've got to block shots in front of our keeper.
Togba got his 4th of the year. He's still looking for his first assist, so he's got 4 points. And Pereira going to get called for pushing off the balls. He tried to get it back. So a power play goal for the Comets. And they've been a pretty good power play team this year. They are now 8 for 12 with the man advantage. Penalty killing for the Wave has been a bit of an issue. They have only stopped 3 of 8 so far this year.
Well, and part of that has been because of the injury to Tenzin Rampa, who's been really the captain of that man-down team for many years.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Art. You cited that right away once we knew Tenzin would be out for the year. Here's Pereira trying to roll one past Petrusek, but good job by the keeper to come out and cut the angle. Comets clear.
Tough chance that time by Pereira. He made a good first touch, but when you get those opportunities, just got to make sure you hit it low and hard and on target. Make the goalie make a save.
Now Chino plays it back out for Ruggles as they work it around the perimeter. Vega with it now. Guilherme in his 3rd season with the Wave, and off to an excellent start this year for Milwaukee. Key with him is just staying healthy. He's an excellent player, but just need to keep him healthy. Chino will work it in. Pereira turns. Pereira dispossessed by Matko initially, and Petrusek picked it up. And of course, with Andre Hayne out of the lineup, Bart, Wave doesn't have quite the physical presence at that target position that
good point.
Normally accustomed to having. You know, people might say, well, oh, Sosa cracks one just wide right. People might say, well, you know, Andre's not a huge scorer, and so, you know, maybe Milwaukee can replace it. But he really wears down a defense, as Gibson is, if he scored it, he's got the hat trick already here in the first half. Anyway, it's a goal for Kansas City. They lead it 4-3.
I think it was Ramon Palmer who's going to be credited with that goal. Gibson took the initial shot. Palmer looked like he redirected it off his midsection in.
Check it out one more time.
Yep.
Indeed.
Right off.
It was going in, but Ramon in the right place at the right time. Well, from that angle, maybe it wasn't quite going in.
No, well, yeah.
The first angle, it
right.
definitely looked like it was behind the goal. But it's a goal no matter what at 14:39. So Ramon Palmer, who already had an earlier assist, picks up the goal, and Kansas City has its first lead of the night. They have scored all 3 goals here in the second period.
Never good when the opposition has the ball and there's 3 attacking players in your goalie, which was the case here on Kansas City's last goal.
That was Ramon Palmer's 4th of the year, and Gibson with his league-leading 13th assist. He's got 2 goals and an assist so far tonight. And thankfully, the buzzer goes before Stefan Stokic rolled that one in. Otherwise, KC would have had another goal. So the Comets really turn it around here in the second period, outscoring the Wave 3-0. And as they go to the locker room at halftime, it's Kansas City 4, Milwaukee 3.
Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner as we check in with head coach Giuliano Oliviero here at the half. How are we feeling in this first half? Started out strong. Kansas City, they are not giving up.
Yeah, you know what? We're not where we want to be, but there's a lot of soccer left to be played. You know, definitely not our best half, but you know what? We're going to regroup. We're going to have a talk, make a couple adjustments, and go from there. I mean, you got the leading goal scorer in the league, and Leo Gibson. You got other dangerous players, and it looks like we're just kind of going through the motions on the defensive side of the ball, and we got to be a lot better.
The thing about our team, though, is that we have depth. Ian Bennett, Andre Hayne, Josh Lemos, all out today.
Yeah, you know what? It's unfortunate, but it also is an opportunity for guys to step up, and we got 30 minutes left, and you know what? This is good. We haven't seen much adversity all season, and here we go.
All right, head coach of your Milwaukee Wave. Thank you, Coach Giuliano Oliviero, and our Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. We got lots more soccer coming here from UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. It's the Wave 3, the Comets 4. Second half coming up live.
This is Little Switzerland and the Rock Snow Park. This is where families come to play. Where Santa spends his days off. Where the snow is plentiful and smiles go from ear to ear. This is Milwaukee's fastest way to winter fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Brookville Center for the Arts Performance Dance Team. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for the Brookfield Center for the Arts Performance Dance Team.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. Hello. It's our 50s game. And of course, the man would have been 84 years old this past Tuesday, but he is back, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Elvis.
I said, see, right. Oh, see.
How you doing, folks?
What you have done.
How you doing?
See, right.
Hey, let's do a little hound dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Sing it with me now. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, I said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Yeah, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie. Help me out over here. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Right, here we go. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. All play it, boy. You guys remember this song? You gonna help me out now? When they said you was high class, well, that was just a lie. You know they said you was high class, well, that was just a lie. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. How we doing over here on this side? You're gonna help me out, right? You know this song. All right, here we go. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Your turn. That's beautiful. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Over here, crying all the time. Are you ready? Here we go. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Hey, we got some singers in here. All right. Thank you very much. Now, you knew you were going to hear that, right?
Very much, ladies and gentlemen. How about some All Shook Up? Oh, well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friend Sam McIntyre, wild as a bug, I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Oh, well, my hands are shaking and my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. Who do you think of when you have such a luck? I'm in love. One more time. I'm all shook up. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Well, please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up, but I feel fine. When I meet a girl that I love best, my heart beats so it scares me to death. When she touches my hand, what did she like? Her lips are like a volcano that's hot. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. Let's hear it now. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, hey, hey, hey. My tongue gets tight when I try to speak. My inside is shaking like a leaf on a tree. There's only one cure for this body of mine, and it's to have that girl that I love so fine. When she touches my hand, and what did she like? Her lips are like a volcano that's hot. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. One more time. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, hey, hey. I'm all shook up. Thank you very much, everybody.
Gentlemen, for Elvis, Mr. Travis Morris is Elvis. You can find out more online. Thank you, Elvis. We love and miss you, baby. Time for the nonprofit ball toss to benefit our friends. Who our winner is. All right. All righty. So we got a nice amount of balls right in here. Of these, there will only be one. And that winner is 1147 is the winner. You can take your winning ball and head back to fan assistance. 1147, you are the recipient of a Milwaukee Wave prize pack. Thanks to our friends at Sharp Literacy, our nonprofit ball toss. AJ.
What do you think? So beautiful.
You want some?
It's good. It's refreshing.
At northwesternmutual.com.
He was busy, especially toward the end of the first half. Comets with 3 unanswered goals in the second period to take a 4-3 halftime advantage. And we'll see if the Wave can come from behind here in the second half. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. And yeah, the tone of the game definitely changed in the second period, Art, no question about it.
Yeah, tale of 2 quarters, right? Wave in the first quarter, and then Kansas City coming back nicely in the second quarter. But it's really shaping up to be who's going to win the battle of the special teams.
Well, one of the keys for sure was when Kansas City was able to kill off the Mat-and-Go penalty midway through the second period. Wave had a 3-2 advantage at the time, and a power play goal for Milwaukee could have really been huge, kept the momentum with the Wave, but KC killed it off and then came back to score a couple times themselves. Here's Renault trying to chase one down after a ball sent in off the end board by LSO. Santos steps up to challenge Stokic. Kansas City in the white uniforms, they go left to right as we look at the action here in the third. But there's no question, at least on the statistical evidence so far, Kansas City has had pretty good special teams play, and the Wave, you know, not the strongest so far this year.
Now, you mentioned their difficulties so far this year, and their man down, their penalty killing. And tonight with Ian Bennett out as well, we talked about Tenzin Rampa not being available, but Ian Bennett as well, he plays the top or the point of that man down unit for the Wave, and that's a big loss as well.
Ian, along with goalkeeper Josh Lemos and forward Andre Hain, all out for this weekend, which includes tomorrow's 1 o'clock match, 1 o'clock Central Time against the St. Louis Ambush. LSO was trying to see if he could send one in off the board from the corner. Taken away by KC, and Ramon Palmer going to call for a foul, pushing off on Robert Renault at midfield. Ramon telling referee Jamie Walter that Robert was doing a little grappling himself. Let's check it out on our Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
He was right. You saw Robert's left hand kind of pull the top of the shorts of Palmer early on, and then Palmer came back and got caught.
Usually the second guy that they catch. Jamie Walter, Kyle Trimble, the officials working tonight's game. They've done a pretty good job here to keep things under control in this tense South Central Division matchup. You know the Comets do not want to fall to 0-3 against the Wave this year. And so this game, major priority as Anthony Grant is down at midfield. And meanwhile, Chad Vandergriff is dumped as like some frustration from the Comets. And they're going to call for help from the side on Anthony Grant. So with 12:38 left to go in the third period, we'll have a brief stoppage here to attend to the injured player. Grant, who's been an up-and-coming player for the Comets. Let's check it out one more time here.
Now you see the left arm of Vandergriff come back and get Grant right in the face. And Grant goes down, and then Vandergriff later on in the play got upended as well.
Yeah, one of Grant's teammates taking a bit of exception to that. Again, I hesitate to say that was intentional or malicious, but he certainly caught him and probably should have been called for the foul. Let's check it out. Oh.
Yeah, Vandegrift's arm comes pretty far back behind him. And, you know, one thing you're taught as a young player is if you're making a recovery run, get yourself goal side before you challenge. We've seen a number of times today where a guy's chasing and then getting hit by the attacker with the ball, with the arms coming back.
Anthony Grant, a third-year player, Jamaica native, who played his college soccer at Bowling Green in Ohio.
You think about the core players from both of these team, Toms, have been in so many matchups, and typically it's been very physical, but very respectful as well. I think both teams have a high amount of respect, but you do have a lot of new players for both these teams, right? I mean, gone are the Vahid Asadpours, some of these guys, and for the Wave, not having Bennett and, you know, some of those players as well.
Wave with the possession.
So I'm not sure it's going to be as respectful as it's been in the past.
Yeah, some new ingredients into the mix, but still a great rivalry. Back beside the Baltimore Blast, the Wave's oldest rival. Here's a 3-2. Ricardinho had it knocked away. It was actually a 3-on-3 as he came to the top of the arc. Wave still recycling it. Alex Bradley with it. Bradley, a second-year player out of Loras College in Dubuque, Iowa, a British native who began his MASL career with the Cedar Rapids last year. Good offseason acquisition for the Wave. And Alex has done a nice job since coming over. Renault tried to get to the middle, but cut off there. You got to believe when Robert gets the ball, Kansas City is going to be multiple teaming him defensively at all opportunities. Robert with a goal so far tonight. Milwaukee's leading scorer on the year. 17 points now, including 8 goals off the inboard stuff. Nice play by Ricardinho to knock that one down as Kansas City had a couple of guys in the box there looking to convert. And now Mattenko going to get called for pushing down Max Ferdinand. Renault with it. He'll touch it back for Hans Dennison. Hans making his season debut for Milwaukee. And he scored the first goal of the match tonight, his first shift. Oh, and there's a shot that caught Kyle Williams right on the side of the head there. Kyle going down to one knee. And this is becoming a tough period for the Comets, taking blows to the head.
The ball deflected off of Stefan Stokic, his teammate.
Unlucky
caught
there.
a little friendly fire that time.
Yeah.
Off the left foot and then straight off of Williams's nose.
Kyle, another former Park University Pirates. One of 7 they've got on this team. Native of Trinidad and Tobago. Appears to be okay, and that's good, good news for sure.
You talked about the absence of Andre Hayne and how it's affected kind of the Wave offense tonight, Tom. And you know, look at this team. You got Drew Ruggles, you got Vega, you got Vandegrift, you got Chamali, you got Jonathan Santos. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Leite in a game like this move up into a second forward midfield type position, because the Wave, you could see, is just not all there offensively so far. And at some point in this game, it might be an option that Giuliano Oliveira may want to think about.
By the way, Metro Stars have tied it up in Mississauga, now 3-3 against Utica FC. That's with about 8.5 to go in Ontario.
Or if you're not going to push him up front, at least tell Marcio, Marcy, you got the green light to go at people. Here's a situation right here. Let's see what he does.
Try to chip one into the middle looking for Dennison. Cleared out by the Comets. LSO with a late challenge there, and he might be lucky he didn't get the card there as Stokic went down. First personal in this half on Oliveira. Again, you get 3 personals in each half. On your 4th, your team gives up a 2-minute power play. This is the first of back-to-back games for the Milwaukee Wave here at Panther Arena this weekend. We've got the St. Louis Ambush rolling in at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Call the Wave office for tickets at 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com.
I was a former player, Tom, and we used to play 3 games in 3 days, but certainly in a back-to-back, you want to get that first night under your belt to set up the weekend.
Hans Dennison getting called for the foul there. Hans, the Dutch native, in his 4th year for the Wave. Tonight, his season debut, and as we said, he scored a goal in his first shift. We mentioned that number, 414-224-WAVE, to call for Wave tickets. That's also a number you can call for tickets and information regarding the Milwaukee Milkmen. Milkmen will be beginning their inaugural campaign out at Routine Field in Franklin this upcoming year. Members of the American Association of Independent Baseball Teams, professional baseball on Milwaukee's southwest side at Routine Field at the Rock Sports Complex in Franklin.
We tried, Tom. We entered the contest. We tried to name the team.
We gave it a shot.
What was that, $2,500 they were
Yeah,
given?
I think so. I'm not sure we would have probably collected that much.
No, I don't think that would have been allowed. But what was your name?
I had Barn Ballers.
The Barn Ballers? I had the Hay Balers.
Yeah.
We weren't close, were we? The Milkmen.
Well, Milkmen's a great name. Great theme. Fans have probably seen the promotional spots running already. Van McNeil doing a great job on those promotional spots. Foul going to be called there.
Did you see Van tonight, by the way? If we can get a close-up of Van McNeil at some point.
He's the Bronze Fonz tonight. Chino getting fouled that time by Ramon Palmer.
What is he, the Bronze Fonz, you said?
Well, I think trying to emulate the iconic Fonzie statue that's on Riverwalk downtown.
That's right, Fonzie was from Milwaukee, right? See, I thought when I saw Van and that dark tan that he had, there was another icon from Milwaukee. His name was Dick Bacon, and he used to hang out on Milwaukee's lakefront with an aluminum hut. I thought Van just got a hold of Dick Bacon's old hut. Remember him, Tom?
I remember the name. I could hear our producer Ian Thompson chuckling in the background on that Dick Bacon reference.
Hey, anybody that's lived in Milwaukee knows who Dick Bacon was. He'd be out there middle of January down on Bradford Beach, his aluminum hut. What's that crazy guy doing?
Corner kick for the Wave. Max trying to fire one across. It's broken up. Renault's stuck a leg in, and Wave trying to get the possession back, deflected up in the stands. It will stay with Milwaukee, but we will have our media timeout. So the Comets defense holding the fort here with this 4-3 lead. Meanwhile, in Mississauga,
and it is time for our hometown hero as we welcome a very special guest here to our platform.
26 Van. I am here with Kimberly Stewart. Technical Sergeant Stewart is an Air Force veteran, retiree of the 128th Refueling Air Wing, Wisconsin Air National Guard. She served during the Cold Wars, the First and the Second Persian Gulf Wars, and the Gulf War era. Please stand, everybody. Kimberly continued her military career at home as a weather forecaster. A service-connected spinal injury would shift her focus then to the last position at the base with education and training management until her retirement. Kimberly continually gives back in her role as CEO of Veterans for Diversity, a local all-volunteer veteran nonprofit organization. Kimberly's commitment to service was paramount in her personal success as she developed a mantra that whatever she could do, from changing nuclear launch codes to pursuing silent auction donations for her nonprofits, annual Pins for Patriots Bowling fundraiser. She would do each job to the best of her ability with humility, integrity, and honor. Please put your hands together for our Foley and Lardner hometown hero of the game. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for your service. If you would like to nominate a Foley and Lardner hometown hero, check out our website at MilwaukeeWave.com. Van.
Corey here, thank you for your service.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. All right, back.
Goodwill momentum carries over on the field here. Wave to put it in play. Trailing by 1 midway through the second period. Kansas City again keeping the pressure on the perimeters. Wave has to cycle it back to the goalkeeper, Rafa Diaz.
The game started a little slow the first 5 minutes, and then it really picked up, and now it's gotten back to kind of very deliberate pace here in the third.
Wave continuing to knock it around as they move it to the attacking zone on the left. Ferdinand trying to get around Kyle Williams. Could not, in part because Williams gave him a two-hand shove. And the foul called on Williams.
Good 1v1 defending, though, that time by Williams to keep Ferdinand in front of him. Rather give up a foul there than have Max beat you into the attacking third.
And again, they'll play it back to Max. See if he can work his magic out high. Swing it around to Marcio. Slips it through. But unfortunately, Santos could not quite control, but Milwaukee able to reload on the possession. So the Wave making the Comets work defensively here. Kansas City starting the year 1-4, but they've won their last 2 over St. Louis and Florida. And so Comets starting to get their panache back a bit here. 24-game regular season in the MASL. So you don't really have a lot of time to go into a big slump at any point in the season if you're hoping to be in the postseason. Top 2 teams in each division will make it. Again, 4 divisions, 17 teams. Wave the only undefeated team in the league right now, but that is a precarious thing right now with the Wave trailing here in the third quarter. Vega with a shot, that's blocked. Good job by Adam James defensively. Max tried to step up and take it away, but Kansas City gets it back. Williams tried to maneuver past a couple of guys. Wasn't able to do so, but KC retains possession. It's the first time the Comets have had the possession for more than a few seconds, seemingly in this third quarter. You would think they'd want to keep it a bit. Good step up there by Vandegrift to take it away from Milwaukee. Chamali is pushed down by Gibson. The foul is called.
You're right, not a lot of possession by Kansas City in this quarter, but they're doing a really nice job defensively in their own third of the field, building a house. 1-2-2 defensively.
Pereira turns and fires from a sharp angle. Good save by Petrusek, and he's able to gather in the deflection. Here's a potential 2-on-1 here. Gibson knocks it across to Flores. He's immediately double teamed, and Diaz will scoop it up. 2 minutes to go, Mississauga still tied at 3 between the Metro Stars and Utica FC.
Like to see the Wave get their second and third players into the box when they go to shoot. It's typically been 2 in and then 3 out. They'd like to turn that around and have 3 in and 2 out.
Ruggles centering on the play, and the shot on goal! Isaac Pereira has tied it up for Milwaukee. They even it up at 4 apiece.
And right on cue, Tom, just what I was talking about. Get numbers into the box. Watch again on this replay, the Wave committing 2 men into the area to make it 3 players in the zone and 2 holding back for support and cover. If you get another look at this, you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, you see Ruggles with the shot, and there's the 2 Wave players, Renault and Pereira, both in the box.
Pereira's 5th of the year. Ruggles will pick up the assists.
I said Renault. Actually, it was Alex Bradley that was in the box that time with Pereira. But just committing numbers forward will force Kansas City to mark you with their defenders, not be able to double team.
Comets coming back as cranking up the shot wide right is Rico Santaveria. It might be the first time we've seen him tonight, Art. Santaveria, the second-year man, Chilean native out of Park University, another Park Pirate. Take a look at our Wisconsin Vision instant replay. That foul was called on Robert Palmer, flying through the air that time to knock down Ferdinand. So brand new ball game for now.
Just a reckless challenge that time by Palmer.
He was not addicted to love in that challenge, that's for sure. Here's Renault with a shot off the frame. Oh, Robert, good strike, but just a bit high. Wave reloads. So Milwaukee now perhaps capturing a bit of momentum from that last goal. Into the post. Max turning, kick save, and a nice one that time by Petracek.
Love the early spin that time by Ferdinand to get a quick shot off, and you just had a nice kick save that time by Petracek.
Leo Gibson gets it coming off the bench, looks across to the corner. Dennison trying to time up Ramon Palmer down there. And Dennison goes down, and foul will be on Ramon Palmer. So both Palmers racking up the fouls now here in the third period. That's the third on Ramon. I believe Robert also has a couple. And so they're going to be careful now for the rest of this half.
This is kind of a lost art in the game as well, Tom, is when that guy gets 3 fouls, isolate him 1v1. Right here is a good opportunity to go at Ramon Palmer.
Marcio knocks it across, coming in. Oh, shot off the frame. Renault with a follow. He's off the frame. Ding dong off both posts.
As Nick Vasos would say.
Oh, man.
But some beautiful one-touch combination play by the Wave there in the attacking zone. The only failure was to hit the target with their opportunities.
One more time, there's LSO with a first shot off the frame, and Robert Renault will follow up with another one. But the Wave definitely creating some chances now here in the second part of this period. You know, for a while they were just knocking it around the perimeter and really not able to generate any offensive chances. Here in the last few minutes now, they have been able to create some chances, and of course, the more chances you create, the more chance you have to score.
Remember, we were talking about Keith Tozer a while ago, Tom. There was a time when Keith Tozer played back in 1979 where these goals were a lot smaller than they are now. Got to hit the target.
Yeah, back in the days of Steve Jungle, Bronco Segota, those guys weren't working with goals this size.
No, not indeed. Put that ball on frame.
LSO will play it off to Vandegrift. Chad in his third season with the Wave. Missouri native who played his college soccer at SMU and SLU. Chino tried to get around the sliding Nacho Flores. Good job by Flores to take it away that time. Now at midfield, Chamali will get it. Chamali's had a good start to the season for Milwaukee. I'll tell you, the Wave defenders in general are maybe nothing spectacular offensively, save Drew Ruggles, who's had his share of goals, but boy, just some solid two-way play on both ends. Solid defense and timely scoring from the defenders so far this year.
Well, I think if the Wave wasn't so talented with their offensive attackers, then you'd see these guys get forward even a lot more.
Ruggles, nice job to turn there. Drew trying to push up for a man advantage. Lays it off, little touch, Max. Lays it off, here's a turning shot, save, Petracek! Oh, that was a great save to stop Ricardinho there.
Ricardinho went low to Petracek's left side, and he kicked out the left leg and made a nice save.
Santos will drill one high. Petracek has made some good saves tonight. Both keepers have risen to the call when they've needed to. Last 30 seconds of the third period. Milwaukee trying to see if they can survive tonight and come right back here against the St. Louis Ambush, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Ricardinho with a challenge there against Togba. The Comets come away with it. Now James able to keep the possession. Near corner, and at the buzzer, collision between Togba and Rafa. And Togba got right up, and we just got to hope that Rafa's okay. Wave, remember, is already down a goalkeeper so far.
Well, and there you see Santos, and I'm surprised it took the Wave players that long to get in Togba's face. You don't come out and challenge a team's goalkeeper that way and get away with it. I mean, we should have seen 3 or 4 Wave players all over Togba with that hit on Rafa Diaz. Watch this again. And there's Diaz's head slamming into the boards. And I'm not saying it was a vicious challenge, but
he led with the shoulder.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, when your goalkeeper gets hit like that, you come to his defense quickly.
There would be bodies strewn about the playing surface in professional hockey right now. Well, looks like Rafa's okay. We sure hope so. Don't go anywhere, fans. Fireworks still to come here in the fourth from Milwaukee. All tied at 4. This is Wave Soccer and MASL.TV.
Hey, Milwaukee, hit the lights.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
You all know what you have to do.
Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms.
No one comes into our house and pushes us around.
Unleash the fury.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can.
That's still black ice. This is our pond.
That's right. Phoebe's right. We got to take it to these guys.
I want you to get up now.
Unleash the fury.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs.
The fans are standing up to them. The security guards are standing up to them. The peanut vendors are standing up to them.
Put those hands together.
All right. Let's go.
Wave fans, I need you to do me a favor. With all of your hearts, with all of your soul, make some noise!
would have been a Clive Griffiths or a Gino Schiraldi or some of those type of guys, it would have been on. Okay, so no, you don't hit a goalie like that and just walk away.
Well, a little bit different era, but your point is definitely well taken. That's for sure.
Can we get a little of the old era back, Tom? And I'm not promoting that guys go after each other, but it's part of the game.
It was definitely part of the game, right? All right. Underway, fourth period. Kansas City in white goes right to left. Comets at 3-4, looking to win their third straight. The Wave at 6-0, trying to win their seventh straight. By the way, in case you're wondering, Milwaukee's season opening record winning streak occurred last year when they won their first 12, on their way to a 17-5 campaign and eventual semifinal appearance in the Ron Newman MASL playoffs. Ramon Palmer trying to get around Santos. Fires one in. It's deflected away. I think that was Chino in the middle there for Milwaukee. Got a piece of it. Dug up by Nacho Flores. Slides the pass to Gibson, cleared into the stands, and deflected up by Santos. Comets will kick it in from there.
Ramon Palmer has always been quick, Tom, but I tell you, he looks as quick, if not quicker than he's ever been. He looks Beasley quick out there.
Must be on a new personal training regimen. Both Palmers have looked great tonight. No doubt about that. And that man, of course, right there, Leo Gibson. A couple of goals and assists, the league's leading scorer now with 25 points. Sosa thought about launching a bomb. Instead, he touches to the right, Anthony Grant. Played it off the inboard. Looked like Rafa was going to come out and pick it up, but Gino didn't hear him, and he cleared it out.
And by Beasley quick, I make the reference to Jamar and DeMarcus Beasley.
Beasley brothers, ultra quick players in their professional careers. Take away Robert Renaud. Robert 2-on-4 with Chino. Chino going to keep coming. And had it poked away from behind.
And once again, where's that third player forward for the Wave?
Out of the back, Rodriguez. Lays it off far wing, Grant. Trying to get around Santos. Now Rafa lost control and he pushed him down. He's going to take 2 minutes. He thought he had to take the 2 because he didn't think there was anybody behind him, but there were a couple of defenders back there. And
he had plenty of cover behind him, as you said. No reason at all to give the 2 hands in the back. Right there, look at that. You got Luan is coming goal side. You had another player standing on the goal line, ready to block if need be.
So Kansas City goes on the power play with a chance to break this deadlock. Let's see who's going to serve the penalty for Rafa. Looks like Max Ferdinand going to go over. Penalties now even at 2 apiece. As Comets go in their second power play. Time of the penalty at 2:20. Diaz for pushing. Being served by Ferdinand. So Wave trying to see if they can possibly kill off this power play. Shot by Rodriguez, a bit high. Rafa could not handle the rebound, and it's headed right in front of him. And a bit of emphatic verbiage from Tagba after he puts it in to make it 5-4.
You never want to assume anything when you're playing this game. And that time the Wave defenders, Marcio Leite, assumed that Rafa was going to grab that with his hands. And while he should have, you still want to get goal side and defensive of your player. You saw right there, Tagba all alone in front.
Actually, just a stare down by Tagba, so I initially stared down. He probably had something to say after that when you saw one of his teammates grabbing him. But emotions are definitely running high in this contest. Tagba, his second of the night, 5th of the season. And believably, Lucas Rodriguez gets credit for the assist. We'll double check on that. Power play goal for the Comets. And the Wave penalty killing continuing to be a struggle. Milwaukee has given up 6 power play goals in 9 times. Make that, 6 and 9 times shorthanded. Pereira with a shot. blocked. Isaac will track it down. He had the tying goal for the Wave late in the third period. But KC coming back to capitalize on that pushing penalty to Rafa Diaz to take a 5-4 lead. Still plenty of time to go in this one. Ricardinho had the hat trick at Mississauga last weekend. That accounts for all 3 goals he scored this year. Vandegrift will touch it and go through. 2 highest scoring teams in the league by total goals coming in, combining for 9 so far. Vandegrift pass or shot that's knocked down the middle. Ricardinho able to reload on the play. Again, Wave with another extended possession here. Shot by Pereira is deflected away. Renault trying to keep it alive. Robert with a shot that deflected wide, and initially the Comets get it. Ramon Palmer trying to run upfield with Roberts. Here's Berto. Tried to see if he could bend one far corner. Good job by Diaz to punch it away.
Once again, Ramon Palmer just showing tremendous pace through the middle part of the field coming forward.
Yeah, he definitely looks good tonight. This is the only game of the weekend for the Comets. They will be home next Friday night, the 18th, to host the St. Louis Ambush. 7:35 p.m. Central Standard Time at the Silverstein Eye Centers Arena.
Good save that time by Rafa. Stood up tall, took it right off the chest.
So Milwaukee will build the attack again. 10 minutes left to go. Wave trailing by 1. Wave not spent too much time trailing this year.
We heard Giuliano Oliviero allude to it at halftime, Tom, that the team hasn't faced much adversity. This was not necessarily a bad thing. The opportunity for some other players outside of Bennett, Andre Hain, Lemos to step up tonight, make their presence felt.
Really don't know the extent of how long those guys will be out. Just the word from Coach Oliviero is none of them would play this weekend. Flores to Gibson. Working against Max Ferdinand now. Back out for Sosa. Comets right now a bit content to knock it around the perimeter, use up some time, but in a 1-goal game with 9 minutes to go, you very rarely see anybody go into the 4-corner offense. Vega stepped up to break up that pass, and Ruggles dumps it back the other way. I think he thought somebody was running down the other end. Of course, that was not the case. Bradley pressuring Petrasek, now Sosa with it. And the Comets do well to break the pressure initially, but Ruggles takes it away. Drew, the 4th-year pro out of Georgia Southern University. Excellent 2-way defender. Now tries to work it upfield, looks across. Here's Max. Far side, Bradley tried to settle it for Chino. Chino cut off along the boards, and the Comets able to clear. Fast-moving 4th period. Not much stopping action so far. Only goal of the frame thus far. James Togba, his 2nd of the night, 5th of the year on the power play at 2:27 to put Kansas City on top. Marcio trying to get something started. Now Chino with it. Chino came up with a yeoman's effort as an emergency goalkeeper in Mississauga last Saturday. Had to play the last 16 minutes in the nets after Josh Lemos got hurt, and the Wave did not have another goalkeeper dressed. And he shut out Mississauga from that point on. But Chino just one of those guys you can play anywhere. Anywhere at any time.
Kansas City came out early in this game, high pressuring the Wave, and the second half they've dropped back into their own half of the field.
Chino, the Mexican native, sends it in out of the corner. Comets again able to thwart any Wave opportunity. Now Santos steps up, rolls one in wide left. Marcio moving up, his left footer, bounce around. Pereira will poke it in on the rebound. Oh my goodness, what a follow-up by Isaac. His second of the night, and we're back to even at 5 apiece.
Well, a mix-up that time by the Comets in their own zone. Leite hit the original shot, the initial shot, and it was not a hard shot. Petrusek made the save, but couldn't corral it, and then got tangled up with his defender.
One more time on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
John Sosa, you see Petrusek and Sosa that time. Petrusek tried to play it with his right foot back to his hands and just did not connect.
Boy, Isaac, the man on the spots. His second of the night.
Hey, Van, I'm here with Rick from West Dallas, and he is going to try and name as many 50s TV shows as he can in 10 seconds. And then we'll see how many our very own Larry Sales could name. And if Rick can name more, he wins a great Milwaukee Wave prize package. Are you ready? Can I get 10 seconds on the clock? All right. Are you ready? Go ahead.
I Love Lucy, I've Got a Secret, Fury, Sky King, Whirly Bird,
3,
Car 54, Where Are You?
2, 1. How many was that?
All right,
Corey?
we had 7 in 10 seconds. So now let's see how many Larry had.
Ready? Go.
Gunsmoke, Happy Days, Bonanza, Father Knows Best, Dragnet, Honeymooners, I Love Lucy, and my favorite, The Lassie, Love.
Time.
Oh, it looked like time ran out.
Perfect.
That's because I want to be a showman.
All right, well, it looked like time ran out, but you know what? I think you did a great job, Rick. I'm going to let you have the Milwaukee Wave prize package. Thank you so much for playing. Van, back to you.
Thank you, Doreen. Thank you, Rick. It's hard to name those 50s TV shows. Larry Sales, our Director of Soccer Operations, he is the king.
All right, tied at 5. Meanwhile, down in El Paso, the Turlock Express with a 5-3 lead over the Coyotes. 5:26 left to go in the second period.
Did Larry say his favorite show was I Love Lucy?
It might have been. Here's Renault trying to run downfield with LSO. Renault off the end board, and Petrusek able to redirect it away from Roberts. What good run that time by Renault. Also, LSO was trying to give him some support on the other side. Luan will clear it into the stands, and the Comets will retain possession.
By the way, Tom, his favorite show was I Love Lucy. Who was Lucy's husband in those shows, remember?
Ricky Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricky Ricardo. Ricky Ricardo could have been a name for a player on the Wave nowadays, huh?
Oh,
Ricky
goodness.
Ricardo, midfielder for the Wave.
He'd be another Ricardinho in this league, probably. A league with...
Well, that might be a sign. We might see little Ricky with the winner tonight.
That, of course, is the Waves' Ricardinho. Speaking of which, he's got it. 1-on-3. Slides the pass near wing. He was looking for Pereira, but Flores is there for the Comets. Now, Mattengo working himself into trouble as he's double-teamed in the corner. Pereira and Vandegrift trying to poke it away. Ferdinand stepped in for the Wave. And eventually drew the foul. Was some good work there by Max. Now trying to get the crowd fired up here as the Wave has the restart in the attacking zone.
Well, let's see. This might be a good opportunity here late in the game. Although they're going to put it along the boards for Giuliano Oliviero to take a timeout and try to draw something up. I originally thought that foul was a little bit inside the boards. Let's see what Jules wants to do.
He'll take a timeout. And again, give him a chance to get a left footer out there if he wants somebody to take a crack. Perhaps a Drew Ruggles, if you want to run some kind of play that way.
Well, typically in these situations along the boards, Tom.
Bring us I'm talking about our floor director, AJ. All right, Wave fans, we need...
On the ball. Is that Believer or is that Marcio?
That's Marcio. Luan is also on the field out here. Top of the area. Ruggles with a shot a bit high. Keeps it alive. Renault! Turning shot! And that one high, and it climbs up the glass out of play. So they had a couple of good cracks at it, but could not get the go-ahead goal. Now Wave keeping the pressure on. Up to midfield. Marcio with a pronounced tackle there. Flores able to get it. Drive in, saved by Diaz, but he couldn't control the rebound. And the Comets score. And just like that, Kansas City goes ahead. I think it was Mattengo with the initial shot, and was that Ramon Palmer on the rebound?
Yep. Elaine with a toe poke from outside. Raphael could not handle the initial shot, gave up a nice rebound. Taylor made that time for Ramon Palmer. Once again, we talked about it. Wave defenders, you gotta stay with the runners. Don't assume your goalkeeper's gonna make a clean save. What's happened the last 2 goals?
So Ramon Palmer with his 2nd goal of the night, 5th of the year. Mattengo will get the assist. And the Comets once again take the lead. We have gone back and forth since the Comets took a 4-3 lead in the first half. Wave tied it up, Comets responded. Wave tied it up, Comets responded. Now only 4:45 left to go.
4:45. If you're down on the Kansas City bench, Kim Runtved has got to be telling his troops, let's get this down to about the 2.5-minute mark. Force them to pull their goalie.
LSO and Ruggles, or Chino coming in. Chino off the end board. Now Pereira gets it. Back for Chino out high, being marked by Lucas Rodriguez. Santos against Gibson. Comets again clear, but Ruggles is there for the Wave. Well,
Wave's got to do things a little bit quicker in the attack once they get the ball wide.
LSO off the inboard, and Petrusek just able to stretch out and gather it in.
Kim Runtved motioning for a timeout down on the Kansas City bench.
So with 3:48 left, the Comets will take the timeout, leading by 1, 6-5. The difference right now, Ramon Palmer's goal. His 2nd of the night, 5th of the year, following up on the rebound off a shot by Elaine Mattengo, who gets his 1st assist of the year. Also has a couple of goals to give him 3 points on the year.
Tom, interesting timeout there by Kansas City. Clock's running, keeper makes the save. I want to keep that clock going. I'm not going to stop it. I know Kim probably wanted to get a few changes there, maybe felt like his troops were tired. But if I'm Kim, I save that timeout, let the clock run.
Now 6-3, El Paso trailing at home to the Turlock Express. Wasn't that Art? Somebody said that Turlock would probably just struggle on the road and really not. That was yours truly who blurted that out early in the game. But they're looking good in the first half tonight against El Paso. Coyotes haven't exactly been a juggernaut so far this year, but you know, they're not a bad team. El Paso coming into tonight's action at 1-4, but they're only -10 in the goal scoring category. They're coming off a tough 10-9 overtime loss at Dallas last weekend.
Once again, let's get back to that timeout, Tom. By calling timeout, you allow the Wave the opportunity to discuss when you want to get your 6th attacker on the floor. And I get why Kim did it. He probably wanted to get those fresh legs on the field, felt his line was out there too long.
Wave able to get the possession back. Dennison in the middle tried to find Isaac Pereira. Ball deflects off him. Kansas City will get it. So that took 16 seconds for that sequence to go up and down the field. No doubt the Wave is going to try to keep the upfield pressure on here. Dennison chasing Petrusek as they move it around. And well executed thus far by the Comets. Fans trying to see if they can give the Wave a little more energy here down the stretch.
Kansas City with a nice job right now of maintaining possession here.
So that's a good 55 seconds since they first put it back in play, and they're going to retain possession here. Comets playing in with 2:51 left to go.
And Giuliano Oliviero down on the Wave bench motioning the next time they gain possession, let's get a timeout. If you're Kansas City, keep it.
Across the goal mouth. That could have been dangerous. Flores fans on the attempt there. Renault tried to check Mattengo off the ball, but Mattengo's a pretty good sized guy there, not easy to do.
The Wave's got to go double team the ball to get possession, clock ticking down.
Flores rolls it in wide. Oh, a great follow-up chance. Put up into the net by Ramon Palmer looking for the hat trick. He had just enough defensive pressure that he couldn't turn into the goal. And the Wave gonna go with the extra attacker now. Looks like Ricardinho has donned the jersey.
Wave, by the ball going out of bounds, was allowed to change on the fly now, and Giuliano gets to save that timeout.
Now that could be big, especially if they get a restart chance in the attacking zone. LSO with Ricardinho and Leite across the top. Chino, Vandegrift, shot is high by Leite, and Ferdinand down low for Milwaukee. LSO trying to stay with Mattengo, who drives one wide, rebound, follow Stokic off the post, rebound, follow Mattengo. And the Comets now leading by 2.
Great run by Mattengo to create the initial opportunity down the right side and stayed with the play. He missed the initial shot. I believe it was Stokic hit it over the top, but there was Mattengo as well.
So Mattengo with an assist on the go-ahead goal from Ramon Palmer earlier in this period. He's got his 3rd goal of the season now. Stokic with the assists versus the Wave's 6th attacker. And now Milwaukee is really going to need some sudden offense here to try to force this one into overtime. Again, Ricardinho, the extra attacker for Milwaukee. Don't forget, fans, we'll do it again tomorrow, 1 o'clock right here at Panther Arena. The Wave hosting the St. Louis Ambush. Shot in by Chino, fielded by Petrusek. Not a good outlet that time as Vega picks it off. Over to Max. Max looks for Chino far side, but Kansas City doing a good job to get back defensively. 1 minute left to go. Wave trailing by 2. As Ferdinand controls. Renault off the inboard, far side, shot by Vega is cleared out.
Good block that time by Robert Palmer in front of Petrusek.
50.6, Wave needs a quick one here. Max turns one in off the board. Renault with an attempted bicycle, and it's cleared out by the Comets, and it does go out of play. Only 35 seconds left to go. Wave really needs a couple of quick ones here. Max double teamed along the boards, and this uses up some time, and foul call against the Wave, but that's just about going to do it.
Well, give Kim Runtved, the Kansas City coach, and the Kansas City Comets a lot of credit here, going down 2-0 early in this one, but pulling together nicely, and they're going to come out of UWM Panther Arena tonight with a victory.
Going to be 3rd straight for the Comets. Max across, and an own goal with 11.6. Well, maybe we're speaking too soon.
I'm speaking too soon. Stranger things have happened, no question about it.
Own goal, I'm not sure who's going to get credit for it. Max sent it in. I guess it would be Ferdinand if he was the last one to touch it for the Wave. Time the goal at 14:49. I guarantee you if the Wave scores another goal to tie this up, that would be the most miraculous consecutive goals in Wave history to tie up a game. No, I guess Renault, right? It was off his shoulder. Comets dump into the zone. Ricardinho has it, but only 3 seconds left, and that's going to do it. And the ball launched up to the air by John Sosa to celebrate the victory. A well-earned victory for the Kansas City Comets tonight as they come to Milwaukee to defeat the Wave 7-6. First win this season for the Comets and 3 tries against the Wave. And Comets now leading the all-time regular season series 18-16 since the Comets resumed their modern era, if you will, back in the 2010-11 season. Good battle tonight by the shorthanded Wave, Art, but not quite enough against this veteran Kansas City Comet team, which wins its 3rd straight game.
Yeah, and no, you just said it, their 3rd straight win. And so at Kansas City, after a tough season last year, and it was unusual watching that team struggle as much as they did. And then they came out to start this season, and you're going, not sure whether they're going to be able to get this together, but they have rebounded nicely. And tonight is a great victory for them. Really got to give them a lot of psychological boost against this Milwaukee Wave side. And for the Wave, quick turnaround. I mean, 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Can't lament about this one too long. They got to get around tomorrow. You know, one of the biggest issues that Wave was concerned about coming in this weekend is with the injuries, you know, would the depth be able to prevail back-to-back games? Again, a good effort by the fellas tonight. They were right in it. Couldn't pull it out. But now the quick turnaround and facing a vastly improved St. Louis Ambush club.
Well, you talked about it last time. What, it's been 20 straight times, the 21, that the Wave has defeated the St. Louis Ambush. So if there's ever an opportunity for St. Louis to come in.
The season would come to Kansas City, one of our toughest teams here.
Yeah, we start a little slow, but I think we recovered in the second half, but wasn't enough. We had to work harder to continue with this good season.
You have been working hard. You have been stepping up. We are riddled with injuries, but you are taking the bull by the horns, and we wish we could have done a little bit more. You had 2 goals tonight. It was a great night, but we're back tomorrow against St. Louis, so we got to get ready for that game.
Yeah, we are ready. I think this is just a lesson for us, but we're going to be ready tomorrow.
All right, we learn from our mistakes. Our PCI, hardest working player of the game. Give it up for number 18, Isaac Pereira. Join him tomorrow here, 1 o'clock at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, as your 6-time champions take on the St. Louis Ambush. Kickoff is at 1:05, and tickets are still available at MilwaukeeWave.com. The autograph session is coming up for the entire crew here at Panther Arena under the direction of Mr. Scott Johnson, Charlie Wise, and Mike Jakubowski. My name is Van McNeil. Final score, Milwaukee Wave 6. Kansas City Comets 7. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Let's go Wave. To